So here we can clearly visualize the difference between the two environments. When you are working on Ubuntu, that is cat etc asterisk release, the output is different. I am getting my version details. Distribution ID is Ubuntu. Code name is Xenial. Ubuntu code name this. What is my uname -a output? Uname -a output clearly shows me that I am working on a Ubuntu operating system. And when I try to check rpm-qa on a Debian box, I am going to get an error message. RPM is not currently installed. Why I am getting this message? Because on Debian platforms, RPM is not the way of managing applications, but in place of RPM, it manages applications using your dpkg command, aptitude command, apt-get command. Okay. So here, if I need to get a listing of all the installed softwares on a Debian platform, we are going to run the command dpkg. dpkg-i to install, dpkg-r to remove, and dpkg-l to list the installed softwares. So when I executed dpkg-l, we got a listing of all the installed softwares here. Similar way, when you are working on your RPM based platform, any platform which is a RPM based platform, this time you are going to execute your commands. So here if you will run the command dpkg-l, you are going to get an error. dpkg command not found. When I execute cat etc asterisk release, here it is giving me that my release name is CentOS Linux. You check your uname -a, it shows you that you are working on a enterprise Linux kernel. The installation that you have is your enterprise Linux, EL Linux. Third thing, here to check our packages, we'll have to run the command rpm-qa. QA stands for query all. rpm-qa is query all the packages. Okay. So when you execute this, it starts giving you a listing of all the installed softwares. So on my RPM environment, all packages are used by using rpm-qa or running your yum command. So either we manage them by using yum or we manage them by using RPM. So yum list all or rpm-qa, both are the same things. So either you execute yum list all or you execute rpm-qa, both the ways you are going to get the same output. Got it? This is clear? So how I can identify that on? So when you talk about your softwares, when you talk about your packages, majorly there are two types of packages. One, a pre-compiled binary. Second, a source code. Pre-compiled binaries means the developer of the application has compiled it, has developed it according to your hardware and software platform. It is pre-compiled. It has been generated. Its executable code is according to your hardware architecture. Its executable code is according to your software architecture. So that is, if in case while running my rpm-qa command or while running my dpkg-l command, you have a software which is having .el7 written there, a RPM which is having .el7, you try to access this or you try to install this RPM on RHEL6 machine, or you try to install it on RHEL5 machine, you are going to get in an error. Reason being, the package is designed for Enterprise Linux 7. So when it is designed for Enterprise Linux 7, how you can install it on Enterprise Linux 5? The similar way, a package written for 5 cannot be installed on 7. The platform is different. So these are referred up as my pre-compiled binaries or pre-compiled packages, where the package has been written and developed and the executable code has been generated according to the platform on which it is to be deployed. So my installation CD, my installation DVD, or my internet sources, they have the package sources, they have the packages for a specific architecture. If in case a package .el7 x86_64 is there, that means this package has been written for 64-bit Intel or AMD processors. So if I try to install this on a 32-bit machine, I will not be able to do it. Or if a package is having .i386 or i586 written into it, I will not be able to install this package on a machine which is a 64-bit machine. So pre-compiled binaries, these are written according to the respective hardware and the software platform. My job is only to extract and then place it on the respective hardware. So pre-compiled binaries are further categorized into 3 types. One is your base RPMs, second is your source RPMs, and third is your no arc RPMs. Base RPMs can be deployed only on the matching software and hardware architecture. Source RPMs, if in case you have ever deployed Java, or you have deployed OpenOffice, or you have installed Oracle database, you get it as a single RPM, but when you try to do the installation, it is extracted into multiple. That is, the source RPM will have a keyword written there as src.el6 or .el7 or .el5 into it. All your source RPMs will be a collection of further more RPMs in it. Majorly, vendors create source RPMs for distributing their applications over internet. Reason being, if I am a vendor and I am having 10 RPMs for my software to work, I posted all of them on my FTP site and you are not supposed to download and install them. You missed to install or download one of the, out of 9 RPMs, you missed one of them. Or when you downloaded, one of the RPM was not properly downloaded. Then in that case, what will happen? When you will do the installation of my application, the application will not be installed successfully because there is one particular component missing, or there is one particular component which is corrupt. So to avoid such type of scenarios, to avoid such type of conditions, what organizations do, they simply create a source RPM which itself is having further more RPMs enclosed in it. So the moment I try to install my source RPM, it extracts the sub RPMs from it and does the installation all of them in the desired sequence order what I have specified. So in whatever order I have specified my sequence, that way they will be deployed on there. So source RPMs are always a collection. They will be having minimum 2 or more further RPMs inside it. No arc, as the name itself says, no architecture. It says that no architecture. That means these can be installed on cross-platform environments. If I have a EL6 no arc, I can deploy the same on EL7 also. I have a EL7 no arc, I can deploy it on EL5 also. No arc means it's not bound to any architecture. These are architecture independent packages. Okay. So in first we are talking about how to manage the packages on RPM platforms, RPM environments, RPM distributions. Once we are done with it, then we will talk about how to do it on our Debian platforms. Okay. So pre-compiled binaries, when I am working upon it, for managing your pre-compiled binaries, you have two commands available. First command is RPM command itself, and second command is yum program. So either I can use RPM or I can use yum to do my package installation. Okay. RPM command itself is having a lot of sub options in it. So let's see the options of RPM. So we can manage applications on RPM based distributions by using the RPM command with its various switches. Okay. So RPM space minus I followed by package name. General syntax is RPM, then switch, then package name. This is a general syntax that you are going to follow while using the RPM command. So RPM-I install, RPM-E erase or remove, RPM-U update, RPM-V show verbose output, RPM-Q query the RPM database, -QA list all installed packages, RPM-QP query package, RPM-QL list files provided by package, RPM-QF query file and report package associated. Let's say, for example, you have etc/passwd file and you need to know which package provides me this file. This file is provided to me by which software on Linux? On my Linux environment, which particular software has provided me this file? In that case, we are going to use the RPM-QF. --node apps install without worrying about dependencies. --no MD5 do not check MD5 headers. So let's try to check these options there. So let's come back to our RPM. So for the time being, I'm not working on Ubuntu, I'm just suspending my Ubuntu VM. So here if you check, I got various package names listed by my rpm-qa command or by my rpm-l command. So I need to find out okay. So here I need to find out that when this package was installed, say zsh.x86_64, what all files were updated on my system. When I installed this software modified or this software added what new files on my system. I can check it as, find it, I am not working as administrator. rpm-ql followed by the package name about which you want to get the details. So what it is going to do is, it's going to give me a listing of all those files that were added on my machine when I installed this package. Oops, it says that it's not installed. I have checked the wrong package. It's available in my updates. Anything which is a base is installed on my system. Now let's check it, rpm-qa. Let's check if I have, okay, let me get the listing automatically. I'm getting a long listing. So when you execute the rpm-qa, what it shows you, only the list of packages which are presently installed, the packages which you have on your machine. So let's take any package, SOS. We have one package referred as my noarch package. So I need to find out that this noarch package has installed what all files on my system. rpm-ql followed by the name of your package, hit enter. You got a list of all the files which were installed on your system by this package. That is, when you do a software installation, this software has modified what all files on your box. This is when I know the package name and I want to find out what all files were provided by it. Second condition that could be, let's say we have this file etc/passwd. I need to find out that this file is coming from which package, which software is providing me this file. Because if there is a file, one or other software would be providing me. So which software is providing me this particular configuration file? rpm-query file. Q stands for query, F stands for file. Query that this file is coming from which package. So it showed you that this file is coming from your package setup -2.8. Let's check which user add. So user add command is not there for this user. Okay, which passwd. So passwd command is this particular file. I want to find out that which software provided me this application. Which particular RPM provided me this application? rpm-query file. So this came from the passwd application. So every file which is there on your system is coming from one or other software. Performing a query on my RPM database can be done by any user. I need not to be root for doing this job. But adding a software or removing a software is something which only root can do. Only the root user can install or uninstall a software from my system. Okay. So for installing a software, the first step is I should have installation source. If I do not have installation source, then how I am going to install the softwares? So I need to firstly have installation source, which in our case is our DVD. We have all our softwares in the installation DVD. Then only we were able to install the applications. At time of installation, we selected a package group and the packages were installed. The same way I need to install some packages here on this machine. So the very first that I'll have to do is I'll have to become root. su minus. So once I'm root, now I can uninstall a software, install a software, or do anything else. Even if in case I need to create in a mapping for my external devices, I have to do it being a root user only. Okay. So here, what I need to do is I want to firstly access my storage device, access my CD-ROM. Unless or until I don't have access to my CD-ROM, how I am going to get my packages? So for my accessing the CD-ROM, I need to firstly create a mapping of my CD-ROM with the local system. Because if I check file dev/sr0, what type of file it is? It's a block special. If I try to do cd/dev/sr0, I cannot do it. If I try to do ls dev/sr0, it's just a block special file. So how I can work on it? This is actually a reference point for my CD-ROM. I need to run the command mount -t ISO 9660, which is actually my optical media or CD-ROM format. This is the standard for accessing my CD-ROMs. So whenever you are working on a CD-ROM, whenever you are working on optical media, you have to specify the file system as ISO 9660. Okay. What I want to map for dev sr0, I want to create a mapping on my /media directory. But before doing this meeting, let me show you the contents of my /media directory. What I have at my /media. As of now, there is nothing in my /media there. Which one? Slash? If in case it's a USB flash, then you will have to get it as a dev/sdb or sdc. USB media will be coming up as your what do you call as a hard disk only, as a block special device. For CD-ROMs only we have to use it. Let me show you. ls/media. Do I have anything? ls-a. Do I have anything in it? No, nothing. Now once we execute our command, mount -t ISO 9660 and hit enter, mounting it, what it says, device SR0 is write protected, mounting read only. I cannot make any changes on my CD-ROM. It's optical media. Okay. Oh, now it says no medium found on dev SR0. That means I forgot to connect a DVD to my machine. You will get this error if you don't have a DVD connected there. It's not connected. It's like I'm having an empty CD. I'm having an empty CD-ROM tray and trying to mount it. So I'll have to give my exact path where I have my data, which is in my case at the location I'll have to rerun the command. This time it got mounted. Let's check back. What we are getting now. So previously there was nothing in my /media directory. Now what we have is we have the contents coming from my CD-ROM. So in this case, /media is now acting as an access point for getting the content from my optical media. This is a map, this is a reference, this is the access point. /media's directory is not having anything of its own. Whatever contents we are getting in here, we are getting the contents from our optical media, that is the CD-ROM or the DVD that we have connected. Now inside this DVD, there is a directory by the name packages. That is, when you burn a DVD of Red Hat or CentOS, inside that DVD you will be having a directory as packages directory. And inside this packages directory, if I do a listing, what I have is nothing else but .rpm, .rpm, .rpm files. The contents of this directory are nothing else but RPMs. I only have RPMs in this directory. So if I check it, listing pipe wc-l, it shows me that I have around 3,541 packages or RPMs available to me. The installation media is providing me these many RPMs. These many softwares are there in your installation DVD. Number of these RPMs will keep on increasing as the version of Linux you are increasing on. Red Hat 5.2 RPMs are less, 5.3 got slightly more, 5.4 got further more RPMs, 5.6 got further more RPMs into it. With every new update, the number of RPMs in your installation media will keep on increasing. 7.0 would be having less, 7.1 would be having further more, 7.3 would be having further more RPMs in it. That is, with every update, there are some new softwares, some new applications added to the installation source. So now here, I got all my packages. Let's say, for example, I want to find out if I have the package for DHCP service or not. or I need to find out if in case I have a package for my FTP service or not, how I can find it out. Think how I can find out that if I have my FTP service package installed or not. What is the command that gives me a listing of all the installed softwares? rpm-qa. So that is, it is going to give me a list of all the packages. If we provide a row filter on it, will I not be able to get the specific package name? Inter-process communication, send the output of rpm-qa command as a pipe to your, which command? grep FTP. If I have the software for FTP service, the name will be shown to me. If I don't have a software, I'll just simply get a blank line. Nothing will be shown to me as output. So rpm-qa, query all the packages, perform a record filter on it by using your grep command. You got the list of package installed or not installed. To your physical hardware? Yes, you can. Yes, with this command. That is for my physical disk also. It's not only for ISO, it's for my optical media. That optical media, see, for my virtual machine, it is coming up as a DVD only. We know that this is a virtual installation, but for the operating system, it is a whole server. Operating system is feeling my VMware, or operating system is feeling my virtual box as a operating system, as a physical server only. It is on a simulated environment, so it feels as if it is working on a real-time device. Okay, so that means I don't have the FTP package. I don't have package for FTP. Let's check if I have the FTP packages into my directory here. So if I grep it, grep FTP, so it showed me that I have these many packages that can be used for managing my FTP services. My installation CD, my installation DVD is having FTP, LFTP, TFTP, TFTP server and VSFTPD. 5 packages related to my FTP, related to FTP thing. So I need to install one of these, but before installing it, I want to find out that what all are the new files to be added on my system. rpm-qf, rpm-ql is doing in a scenario when the package is already installed. Our condition, the package is not yet installed. We don't have a package. This package is not installed on my machine. Before doing the installation, I want to find out if this package installed on my box, what all files, what new data, what extra files will be added on my system. How we can do it? Simply run the same rpm. Now this time use qfl. Sorry. Use the rpm-qpl followed by media packages and my package name ftp-0. So this shows me the details that when you are going to install the package, it is going to add the following programs on your system. As of now, the FTP package is not installed. Once I run my command rpm-i followed by my package name, what it will do is it will add all these files on my system. It will add all these files there. So there are some documentation pages, there are some man pages, and there are 2 configuration files. Two programs. USR bin are my programs for all the users. The same way, let's check what will happen if in case I am going to install LFTP package. LFTP is going to add these many more files there. Package is not yet installed. Before installing the package, you want to check the files there. The same way, I want to find it. If I am going to install VSFTPD package, then what all files will be added? So it's going to add a var FTP directory, it is going to add a var FTP pub directory, it is going to add USR share doc, USR share man pages, documentation pages, configuration files, that is the files going to my etc directory, etc/log rotate VSFTPD, PAM, VSFTPD, FTP users, user list, all these files will be added there. So that's when before installation of my application, I need to ensure myself that this program which is provided to me by some person or which I have downloaded from internet is not going to create some unnecessary files which are actually not required, or this program is not going to touch those directories which should not be accessible to everybody. In simple terms, I want to ensure that the software what I am going to install is not going to add some malicious code to my system, or is not going to add something at a location which is not desired, is not going to add any applications to undesired locations. We can validate it by running the command rpm-qpl, query package, and list the files from a .rpm file. Whereas rpm-qp is used only for the packages which are already installed. Query package listing for a package which is not installed. rpm-qf to find out what files will be added or which package provides this file. Got it? So I need to install this package here, VSFTPD package. How I can do the installation? So from my RPM commands, can you tell me what is the command that allows me to do the installation of a package? RPM-I followed by the package path. Where I have my package? Media, packages, VSFTPD, and hit enter. So what it will do is, it will install the VSFTPD software on my screen, on my system. It's doing some operation, but nothing is visible to me. We can get the whole details on our screen if we execute the same command with -v switch. RPM-IV. Install and show me a verbose information. So RPM-IVH, install my header updates, hit enter. Now this time it should show me the progress indicator, preparing. See, earlier it didn't show me any of these things. Now I'm getting my progress indicator, I'm getting all the details here. So now if we are going to run our command once again, rpm-qa pipe grep ftp, we should be getting this FTP package name into the listing, which we were not getting earlier. So rpm-qa pipe grep FTP. This time I should have the name vsftpd installed on there. The vsftpd name should be coming into the picture. See, RPM is good. Management of my softwares, everything we can do using the RPM command. But there is a very big problem related to my RPM, and that problem is, if in case I am dealing with a software that is having one dependency, okay, when you try to install that dependency says that I need 3 more softwares. You went to install one of that dependency, it says I need 5 more softwares there. So it's a dependency tree. You want to install A says I want B and C. Then you firstly try to install C says I want X and Y. You try to install X says I require G and H. So like one software is dependent upon another, that is dependent upon 2 other, that is dependent upon further 3 more softwares. So in those scenarios, it becomes difficult for us to do the installation of softwares manually. Because then in that scenario, I am the one who will be responsible for manually resoluting the dependency. I am the one who has to resolve the dependencies for each and every software. So that dependency management, if in case think of a scenario, the software is having some 200 dependencies. So I am killed in managing the dependencies itself. For installing one software, I need to get some 100 dependencies from it. So for addressing that dependency problem, Red Hat gave you another tool that is called as your Yellow Dog Update Modifier, the YUM program. Why we are not doing everything using RPM? Because with RPM we have a dependency tree problem. With RPM programs, with RPM utility, if in case an application depends upon n number of further more applications, then I am the one who should manually resolve that. Whereas when you talk about the YUM program, the YUM application does this dependency resolution on its own. It manages the dependencies on its own there. How it does it? It depends upon an XML database which is generated when I create my repository. YUM depends upon a concept called as my repository. Can you tell me the meaning of term repository? Repository? Come again? Yes. A repository is nothing else but a collection of objects. So YUM does what? When we are dealing in the YUM way, when we are managing the software using the YUM method, what this application does is, it refers a collection of softwares. That is, it demands me to firstly copy all my softwares anywhere in my network and then create a meta information associated with it. We call this particular box wherever I am going to copy all my softwares as my YUM server, or we refer it as our YUM data server. So the YUM server, the job of my YUM server is to provide packages to my whole network. In this scenario, for doing the installation of this FTP server, what I need to do is, I need to firstly plug the DVD. So for adding the DVD, I need to firstly have the DVD-ROM on my server. Not necessary that on my server class hardware, I am going to have my DVD-ROMs there. On each and every server, I may not be having permissions granted to access the USB stick. The USB sticks could be disabled on my server, or the DVD-ROMs might not be there. Someone may burn the data on DVD and go on there. So in those scenarios, what we do is, we keep all our data, we keep all our things onto a location as a network share or a FTP share or a HTTP share, and then publish it from that FTP. So the YUM server concept is, firstly we create a publisher, Then we provide publisher all our packages, and then we generate the meta information about those packages. This meta information, in case of your RPM distributions, is identified, that is wherever you are going to use your yum, wherever the yum will be there, it depends upon your packages path. Inside this packages path, it demands a file, a directory to be there by the name repo data, which is my repository data, repository meta information. And inside that repository data, it demands for the presence of a file as repo md.xml, which stands for repository metadata XML. So whenever we are dealing with yum server, in a yum environment, always there will be a publisher available, that is a location from where I am going to pull the data. This packages path could be over my FTP service, it could be over my HTTP service, it could be over my NFS service. The yum server could be working over FTP, could be publishing my packages over HTTP, or it could be publishing my packages over NFS. Any of the three things it could be. Wherever I have my packages, at that location, I should have a directory by the name repo data. And inside that repo data directory, I should have a repo md.xml file. Let's see if in case we have these files there with us. So here if we check in there, ls/media, find out, do we have a repo data folder here? Do we have the repo data folder inside our media? Yes, we have the repo data folder. And if we check the contents of this media/repo data, what do we have inside it? Do we have a file here by the name repo md.xml? Can you locate the file repo md.xml here on my screen? The second last file, the second last name, it is repo md.xml. What this file is having in it? Media, repo data, repo md.xml, nothing else but a XML file which is telling me about my file list, my repository data, my primary reference database, my secondary reference database, and the information associated with it. What actually happened? How this file got generated? When we are going to copy all these files, when we are going to copy all our packages to my publisher path, at that time, after copying, we are supposed to execute a command called as create repository. Let me show it to you. Let me show it to you the process. I will not copy all the packages, just a few packages, and we'll try to build the repository from there. Okay. So I'm just creating mkdir, or let me copy cp-r. When I need to copy a directory or recursively, cp-r from my media packages. I want only x star, only the packages having their names beginning with x, to be copied at my path var ftp pub. So in my packages directory, I have lot of packages, around 3,400 something packages are there. What I want is only the packages whose name begins with x. Copy those packages there to my ftp pub directory. Let's check the contents of our var ftp pub now. So here what I am having is, at this location now have only RPM files, only and only RPM files. How I can ensure? wc-l var ftp pub ls5wc-l 90 packages, ls *rpm. The count is same. That is the number of files that I have at that location are 90, as well as the .rpm files that I have, these are also 90. So there is no repo data folder here. Let's check where ftp pub. There is no repo. There is nothing beginning with R. There is no repo file. Okay. So when we are executing our command create repo, create repository. If you don't have this command, then you need to install 3 packages first. Then you will get it. But generally in Red Hat 7, if you have a graphics setup, you have this file already there on your system. So create repo followed by the path var ftp pub, and when I hit enter, after my process is complete, I should be having the repo data folder created there. Inside that repo data folder, I should have my repo.md file created there. Okay. Now read the output that came on my screen, what it did. When I executed my create repo command, please read the statements, please read the output, what it has done there. What it has provided me. Spawning worker 0 with 45 packages, worker 1 with 45 packages, workers are finished, saving my primary metadata, saving file list metadata, saving other metadata, generating SQLite databases, and then SQLite databases complete. So what it did is, it scanned each and every file which depends upon someone else. My each and every .rpm is having this information in it, that it depends upon X, or it depends upon Y, or it doesn't depends upon anybody. That whole information is there inside the RPM file. Now if we check back again our var ftp pub, we should have received a directory here called as repo data. Earlier it was not there. Did we have this repo data directory earlier? No. We got this directory created automatically. And the contents of this directory, nothing else but my SQLite, other SQLite, primary SQLite, file list SQLite, 3 SQLite databases, primary XML zip file, other XML zip file, and a repo.md.xml file. If I check when this repo.md.xml got created, the time is just a couple of minutes ago. Is it? The creation timestamp is what? Feb 14th, 1900 hours, 05 minutes. And what is the current system time I have? 1900 hours, 07 minutes. So just 2 minutes back this file is created. So what this file is having, that is the first time my repo data directory was created. Whenever I executed the create repo command, it scanned each and every package and generated this repo.md.xml, where this repo.md.xml is giving me list of the packages that do not depend upon anybody, the packages that depend upon others, and the third level of dependencies. Primary is first level of dependency, other is second level of dependency, and file list a list of all the RPMs. I got my repository created. Now to work upon it or to access these packages, I need to simply create a configuration script at my client side. This is a yum server got generated. Now if I start my systemctl, or just simply run the command service vsftpd start. So this will do what? This will start my FTP server, because I have placed my packages at the FTP location. Now next thing that I'll have to do is create a file at the location vi etc yum.repos.d followed by any name. File name doesn't matters. Any name, extension matters, that is .repo. And in this file, make some entries. The first entry is repo name. Name is equals to anything it could be, base URL. What is the location? What is that particular web path or my network path where I have all my packages? Location is my FTP :/127.0.0.1 pub/ enabled is equals to 1, GPG check is equals to 0. Yum clean all. Because I have just now created, I have told my Yum application, the Yum program, that from now onwards you have to refer this path. Whenever I will run the Yum command, Yum install, whenever I'll say Yum update, okay, every time I execute the command Yum update, every time I execute the command Yum install, what my Yum program will do is, it will go to the directory etc/yum.repos.d, will look for the presence of a file with the extension .repo. If a file is available, will refer the base URL entry into it, will go to that particular FTP or HTTP or NFS server, and will try to find the presence of a repomd.xml file at that path. If it is available, will read the contents of that file and will give me a listing of all the packages. But on my system, I'll have to remove some files. etc yum.repos.d. If you check, there are some CentOS repositories also here. Okay, so what I'll do is, I'll remove these files, or mv etc yum.repos.d ce *repo to my/tmp path. What I did here is, in one command I have moved all the files having extension as .repo to my/tmp directory. Now if you check back again, at this path I have only one file, any name.repo. Now if I'll do the command yum list all, so this yum list all command is going to give me a listing of all the repositories which are presently active to give me packages. So it is checking what name it is checking, repo name. How many packages it has given? All these are the X packages that I have copied on that. So I got a listing of all the softwares which are available for installation. If I run my command yum repo list, I will get the count of packages available at each and every repository. So how many count is coming here? 90. That's the number of RPMs I have copied on there. Is it or not? So when I executed my create repo command, what it did is, it scanned, it read each and every .rpm file. From each and every RPM file, it extracted the information. Hey man, do you need someone else for your functionality? Do you depend upon someone else? If you depend upon someone else, tell me his name. So every RPM file gave this information to the create repo. Now create repo generated a primary XML, other XML and file list XML. Then on the basis of these files, created 3 SQL-like databases also. These databases are actually at the location var lib rpm and inside that we have packages. So if you check it here, the contents of this directory var lib rpm, these are actually the databases which are created by my create repo command. So when we created the create repo, it obtained all these packages there. Now if I want to install any of my packages, let's say I need to install my scanner, a software for scanning my pages through my physical scanner. So in my Linux, that package is by the name xsane. So let us firstly check yum search sane. I need to install any package. I can always make a query to the yum database by running the command yum search sane. If any package is there in my whole repository that is having the sane keyword, name of that package will be listed to me. So I got the name here as sane common, sane backends, xsane gem, all these packages which are having, okay. So now here libsane, hpaio, sane backend drivers for scanners, sane backend libs, common files for xsane package. Now let's try to install any one of them using rpm command first. rpm -i media packages xsane say common. So if in case this package is having some dependencies, you are going to get in a message, the package depends upon XYZ. If in case it does not have, you will just simply get the package installed. Okay, let's say xsane-gem. You are getting the dependency. This is the problem with RPM. I tried to install xsane-gem and it says that gem is needed by xsane-gem, libgem, libgem base, libgem color, libgem config, libgem math, libmodule, libgem UI, libgem widgets. These many packages are required for installing the xsane. So you have multiple dependencies. Might be you are taking care of them, might be you are not manually taking care of them. This is just a small list of packages. Think of scenario, this dependency list is 100 packages, where each and every package is having furthermore 5 dependencies of its own. I am lost, I am done only doing the package installation. Whereas when I try to do the same now, yum install xsane-gem, so it automatically started processing my dependencies, will give me a listing of what all are the dependencies of this package, and will give me option if in case I want to install all of them or I don't want to install. Okay, it has automatically started doing the dependency resolution. So it might not be able to install because I don't have all those packages in my dependency tree. Let me just update my repository file once more. Anyname.repo, and here in place of my base URL to FTP server, and let's run this command once again. See this time what it says. Processing dependencies. Still it is giving me some error. I'm getting this error because still when I check my yum repo list, it's pointing to that old repository. Though I have changed the path of my repository to my media directory, but still it is pointing to that one FTP directory. That is the reason why we execute the command yum clean all after creating in a repository file. Every time you update a .repo file, you have to run this yum clean all command so that it clears my yum local package cache. So as of now, my yum program knows that there are only 80 packages which are available from the repo name. I need to clean my repository, that is clean my local cache. Once the cache is cleaned, now if we check it once again, this time I should get around 3,400 plus packages there. Yes. Okay. So why I need to do that clean all operation? Because my yum was pointing to a older repository which I have now updated, and this repository is now having some new files in it. Okay. So let's run our same command, yum install xngem. This time it is not going to give me the error, but is going to give me a listing of all the packages and the dependencies. Got it? One package plus 16 dependent packages. I don't have to manually install each all of them. I have to just say, is this okay? Yes. The moment I say yes, this one package, that is xngem, will be installed together with these 16 dependent packages also there. So how easy is my life now? My life is more easier now. I have to just do only one thing, say yes, done. Now it is going to install all those packages automatically. I don't have to manually keep on running my rpm-ivh, package A, package B, package C, package D. I don't have to do that. Yum is going to do the all jobs for me. It's going to perform the operations for me. Okay? So this way we can get it connected. It's going to install one package plus 16 dependencies, total 17 packages will be installed. And from where it is getting? It's getting from the repository path what I have provided. So in our production scenarios also, what we do is, we create one of our server as a yum server, publish packages on that, and on all other machines, we just create a .repo file. On all my client devices, just simply create a .repo, yum clean all, and now you are having all the packages updated. Even if in case I want, I can run the command yum update. So yum update command will do what? It will upgrade my operating system to the most recent updates. I'll not have to do it manually. I need not to download each and every package and update it manually. When you will run the command yum update, automatically it will check to the repository source, and from the repository source will obtain the most recent packages based on what is installed on your machine and will update them. Okay? So yum is a very beautiful tool for updating, managing, installing, and upgrading my system also. Using yum, even if in case there is, let's talk about a real-time scenario. Your organization was having an application that's running on PHP 5.3. Okay, there is a website, there is an internal app server, let's say admin portal or HR portal, which is hosted on a PHP 5.3 application. Now, you executed yum upgrade. After the yum upgrade process, at my repository server there was a new version of PHP available, referred as a PHP 5.6. So when I did yum update, the installed application PHP 5.3 got updated to PHP 5.6. And this was a scheduled maintenance activity. You performed the activity and did the job. Now, next week, when my developers are accessing the things, or when my users are accessing the portal, so PHP 5.6 has deprecated some of the features which are there in PHP 5.3. Now, I am not able to run my application because PHP 5.6 throws an error. This feature is no longer supported, or this function is no more supported in PHP 5.6. So the portal, my HR portal or admin portal that was working fine till Friday night, from Monday morning that portal stopped working. Now the developers are after our life. They are saying till Friday night everything was okay. On Friday night you did the maintenance activity, you did something wrong, you have corrupted our application, done this, done that, lot of obligations coming to us. Happens. That's a real time thing that happens. Because the application that was written according to an older version, once I did my upgrade, the application got updated to a newest version. And the newest version is not supporting the features coming from the older version. Now my application is inconsistent. My application became unstable. And my developers are now after our life. So I need to find out what happened or what all changes happened on my system in the last maintenance activity. What was the last operation you did? What things you performed on the server? You created in a server, okay. You updated the server, okay. But what all changes did you did there? What modifications happened in the last maintenance activity? Yum again is there for our help. I have to just run one command, yum history, and hit enter. So the yum history command is going to give me a listing of all the operations that have been done till now on my system. So here it shows me ID number 1, that was the system installation state. On this date, action was installation. How many packages? More than 1186 packages were updated. Now, on today's date, Mr. Vivek Trivedi has installed some 17 packages, updated some 17 packages here. Just now we did an installation of that. Okay. Now, what all changes happened with this action? So I got a listing, yum history command showed me that I got 2 applications or 2 actions have happened. The first action was system installation and second action was installation of some 17 packages. What were those 17 packages? What were those 17 packages that were installed? Run your yum history command once again with list followed by your ID number. That is, what changes happened with this ID, related to this ID. So yum history list 2. Now when I am going to run, so it tells me that it has installed a package, install XChange. Okay. What was happened? What command, what operation happened on my system? The operation was user has installed the XChange package. If in case I would have installed 10-20 packages, list of all the packages will be listed to me here. I'll get a listing of all the packages. What changes happened on this date? Yum history, get a listing of all the operations. In that particular ID, what all changes happened? Yum history list followed by the ID number. The same way, if I check in for my ID number 1, I'm going to get a list of lot of things there. System was unset. 186 packages were there. Okay. Now suppose this was the issue, XChange is causing problem on my system. I want to roll back to the state before installation of Exchange GIMP. I want to revert back, roll back. Yum history roll back to. So roll back to 2 is the most recent operation. After that nothing has happened, so nothing to do. But if I say yum history rollback 1, it is going to uninstall these packages. I didn't say uninstall GIMP. I just said that yum history rollback. Roll back to my ID state 1. That is a state previous to the action that I have done. So before the installation of my yum update, whatever changes have happened, roll back all those changes to the previous state. Take me back to the state that was there before Friday night. So yum, roll back, followed by the thing. Now if I say yes, this Exchange GIMP package that we just installed will be reverted back. Okay. I don't want to keep on interacting. Just simply use the -y switch at the end. Now it will not ask me a question, will simply do the job. See what operation it is performing. Erasing, 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 removing the packages. So one thing I could have done, yum erase Exchange GIMP, or I simply did a rollback. Now if I check back again, rpm-qa pipe grep xsane, I don't have that Exchange GIMP package anymore on my system. Roll back. Okay? But I got one more history entry here. If I check yum history list, there is one more entry came in here. ID number 3. The most recent operation was erase of 17 packages. What operation happened in it? To this command, give your ID number. It gives you the exact command also what was executed there. Okay? So yum is a very powerful tool. You didn't understood it. Yum history list. How I got this information? By running this command. Yum history list. Yum history list showed me the first ID was system creation, second ID was installation of a package, third history event was erase. Now what all packages were erased or what operations happened there? This I checked yum history list. How I got this number 3? I got this number 3 from the ID column here. The most recent operation, that is at 1900 hours 31 minutes, that's the most recent operation happened on my server. So the most recent ID, the changes that I have, what changes happened with this ID, you got a listing of that here. The changes that happened here. Okay? Yeah. .repo file? Let's see. The path is yum.repos.d, and at this path just create a file by any name. You can give name, doesn't matter. What matters here in this case is the extension .repo. The extension of this file at the location etc repos.d should be .repo there. Okay. So once I create it, the first entry that I have to give is in square brackets, I have to specify my repository name. This is the name which will be presented where? When I am going to run the command yum repo list or yum list. See here, what is my repo ID? The repository ID is coming as repo name, the same name what I have mentioned here in the square brackets. A server could be talking, a client could be talking to n number of repositories. It could be talking to EPL repositories, it could be talking to Red Hat repositories. Under Red Hat itself, it could be talking to high availability, it could be talking to your storage, it could be talking to virtualization, it could be talking to OpenStack, it could be talking to OpenShift, it could be talking to your Red Hat Atomic Host. Multiple repositories are there. So it could be talking to any of those repositories. So for every repository, there is a ID name. So whatever you give into the square brackets, this is the ID name for your repository. Name, this you can call it as a friendly description. So by whatever value you are going to write in front of name, that is a friendly description by the help of which I can identify that this repository is created for what purpose. This repository is providing me what type of packages. Is it providing me a base package, update package, extra package, EPL package, or it is providing me OpenShift, OpenStack? What type of packages I am getting through it? So we generally keep this thing as a friendly name, as a descriptive value, so that I can identify this repository is doing what job. And finally, the number of packages. So these number of packages are coming from where? From the base URL. Base URL means what is the base of my repo md.xml file? What is the base of my repo data directory? Base URL is pointing to the base of repo data. At whatever path you have placed your repo data, you have to give up to that location. So in our case, I have copied it at var ftp pub. So var ftp is automatically a part of my FTP service. Inside the pub directory, I have given directory /pub. Or, so when you are using FTP service, you use the protocol FTP. When you are using Apache server or HTTP server, give the HTTP path there. When you are using NFS, give the NFS path there. Or when I am using my local, so /media is my directory name and file:// is my protocol. So here file:// is the protocol, file protocol. /media is the path. Enabled, if in case I am setting enabled equals to 1, that means I can access packages from here. I can use this repository for downloading the packages. GPG check equals to 0, GPG plays a very vital role. Because all my packages are coming from where? Even if in case I am having an entitlement from Red Hat, even if in case I am having a Red Hat channel subscription, still my packages are coming from the internet. And things coming from internet could always be risky. Some man in middle could be doctoring the packets there. Someone who is eavesdropping to my network, he could be injecting some malicious code into the RPM files. He could be injecting in some code that once installed on my system can crash my server or can keep on sending my information to the remote location. Anything can happen because internet is a very dangerous place. So anybody who is monitoring my network, anybody who is also connected to the same network can inject malicious codes. So GPG here stands for GNU Package Guard. That is protector of my packages. GPG stands for GNU Package Guard. So the GNU Package Guard is doing what? I am asking my yum to check for the package guard. Now how it does that package guarding is on the basis of a MD5 checksum or a shared hashing checksum. When I am a publisher, so it is my responsibility before publishing the packages, I need to create a hash of that package. Whatever file I am providing from my FTP server, I need to provide a hash value of that file. That is, I need to in a way encrypt that data or create a general hash. Now me as a user, when I am downloading the data, what I'll be doing is, I will be taking the same hash from the server and will store that hash on my local machine, so that when you send the package or when I download the packages, this GNU package guard will do what? If it is set as 1. GPG check equals to 1 means always validate the identity of each and every package. So it will compare the packages, their checksum with the checksum of the public key stored on my machine. So it's a sort of a private key and a public key based validation of my data. A checksum is provided by the vendor and I am having a checksum decrypting key on my machine. It will generate a checksum of the local key as well as a checksum of the data presented by the net. If both the checksums are equal, it is a valid package. If there is a difference into the package checksums, it will not allow me to install it because the checksum of that file is invalid. That means someone has done doctoring with that package. Someone has modified that package in between. There is a GPG key file available on your system, and this file is in your /media directory itself. So when you are copying your DVD to the EM server, inside your DVD you have RPM GPG key. On your system, because I am using CentOS, I have RPM GPG key for CentOS 7. You are using Red Hat, you have the RPM GPG key for Red Hat there. See it there? In your media directory, do we have this? Check it on your machine, you have it. If you have mounted your DVD, you have this RPM GPG key. You have to just do one thing, copy this RPM GPG key onto your local machine. You have to just get this GPG key on your local box. It is there. Let me show you. Okay. You mount /media, that is disconnect. Unless or until I am not doing a unmounting, I will not be able to take out my media. Okay. Now let me add the Red Hat media, the same ISO image which I have given to you. Well, 7 connected. Once again, the same mount command, mount dev/sr0 to /media. ls /media, you have this RPM GPG key Red Hat release, RPM GPG key Red Hat beta. You have to mount the DVD. That's okay. Now do ls. It will be write protected because it's a optical media. You cannot write data onto optical media. ls/media. I also got that same message what you got. See here, pay attention to my output. When I did the mount command, mount dev/sr0 to /media, I also got the same message, dev/sr0 is write protected, mounting read only. Now do ls/media, you have this. That's the same ISO what I'm using. So now you have this RPM GPG key Red Hat beta, RPM GPG key Red Hat release. Is it? No. The same ISO you are using there. Yes. First entry, repository ID. Second, friendly description. Third, base URL. Fourth, GPG check. And fifth, GPG key file. Okay. You can give anything till the time you are not doing something special. So here if I go back to my repository file, now I'll have to do what? I'll have to make an entry here, one more, that is GPG key file is equals to file : /etc/ Red Hat hyphen let's take in the name from another folder. So wherever you just copied the files, you can copy the same files there. Here I have my file name rpm-gpg key-red hat-release. Just provide the same file name and copy this file cp/media rpm gpg red hat release /etc directory. So from your DVD, copy the rpm gpg key to your etc directory, and in your configuration file add these two entries. GPG check is equals to 1 and GPG key file is equals to file : /etc/ the file name. Now every time it is going to pull the packages from internet, it will be validating its authenticity. It will be validating the package for its GPG check. That is, the GNU package guard will be validating the packages. Got it? All these steps I have already placed in this document. How you are going to create in a create repo -v, then create a group repository, yum client side configuration, etc yum.repos, what all entries you need to do there, and then source code package installation. Got it? So let me save it to our just so here I'll just copy it back to our Ethiopia directory, day 2 session 3. Okay. And there is one more file. I am copying at the path as quick yum configuration.